Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday. That's More Good News Wednesday. It's my favorite day. I just have to tell you, I love more good news, and it always comes. It used to be hump day. Now there's no need for any humps. It's just simply More Good News Wednesdays. They're rocking and rolling here. Good morning, everyone. Marshawn, welcome. Good morning, Roman. Rob Deerdick, if you're here, good morning again. He's always joining me. Sam, I am happy. More Good News Wednesdays. Justin P. awake. We probably won't be seeing Jakey Bakey. He went AWOL on me this morning, so hopefully he'll still be employed this afternoon. More good news for everyone but Jake. It may not be good news for him, but more good news for everybody else. Let's get the questions rocking and rolling. Here we go. It is More Good News Accountability Day. More Good News Wednesdays. Who has the questions? Give them up here. What's going on with Team David Meltzer? You can reach me, David, at dmeltzer.com. We're going to be doing Friday training early this week. It's going to be at 6 a.m. merging with Clubhouse. I'm going to do something new for training. BYOQ. Bring your own questions. I'll bring the answer on IG and, of course, on Clubhouse and on the webinar. 6 a.m. Pacific time, Friday. Friday trainings early this week. And, we are working it out with the Breakfast of Champions. So here we go. How was the event last night? The event last night was amazing. We had a showing at the gallery of Michael Brandup, and it was an incredible time that we had there. Great discussion with a great artist talking about the flow state. So I really, really enjoyed myself. Thank you, everyone, for coming out to the meetup, coming out, Leftover Tacos Wednesday. There we go. Email and text David at dmeltzer.com. The text is 949-298-2905. What lessons did you learn yesterday in LA? To trust the universe. You know, not everything goes as planned. But trust the universe that'll end up better than you anticipated. It was with Rob Deerdick, one of the best hours and a half that I spent in a long time. This guy gets it. Ridiculousness. He has his own podcast, obviously TV shows, but he has a great perspective. If you're not following him, I suggest that you do. So there. What's the easiest way to get on the frequency of making money? The frequency of making money is to understand your frequency. So to be able to meditate and see what interference you have between you and the money that you make. Mikey, thank you so much. We're doing well here. We'll pin this up. David at dmeltzer.com. You can join me. Jake, are you here? The Cozy Earth people are here. We'll be with you in 2 minutes. Answer some more questions here. Doing well. All right. What's going on, David? How do you stay persistent on a schedule that you make no matter what? Have non-negotiable values, right? I spend a minimum of an hour a day on my health, a minimum time with my family, a minimum of time studying my calendar. Those three things alone keep my priorities straight and allow me to be productive and accessible. So looking really good there. But that's the key. A couple more minutes. We'll bring on my friend Tyler, and president and founder of Cozy Earth. And we're going to talk about Cozy Earth in Salt Lake City. And it's obviously one of Oprah's favorite things. We'll bring him on. Let's answer some more questions here. Advice for a 20-year-old. Yes, ask for help. Find someone that sits in the situation that you want to be in and ask for help. The easiest way to get to where you want to go is what? Ask somebody that's already there for directions. If I was 20 and 30 and 40 and 50, I would want somebody on my butt telling me, ask for help, ask bigger, ask more often. You can't ask often enough or big enough. Ask for help. Find people. Be more interested than interesting that sit in the situation that you want to be in. Ask for directions. It's the fastest way. You don't have to pay the dummy tax. I've already paid it for you. Still going to have to pay state and federal tax, but you don't have to pay the dummy tax, which is an aggregate beyond all the taxes you pay, from sales tax to luxury tax to state tax to federal tax. Does not matter. Don't pay the dummy tax. Ask for help. I love that question. I get it all the time. One of my favorite. How do I articulate my frequency more precise for it to reach farther? Roman seems to be a student of our texts and our videos and our content. in order to strengthen your signal, you need to practice your signal. You need to perform and write and speak and whatever other platforms that you want to utilize in order to practice articulating your frequency, who you are, closer to the truth, blending the truth with humankind. All right, we've answered a few questions. Remember, Friday's training, BYOQ. You bring the questions, I'll bring the answer. 6 a.m. Pacific time. 6 a.m. Pacific time is training this week. IG, Clubhouse, and on the webinar, almost 50,000 people registered. Almost 50,000 people registered. Can you believe that? Christina Madrigal, good to see you. All right, I saw my friends here. Let's pull up the Cozy Earth. Tyler, there we go. We'll bring Dining Dreams is live on Rise and Grind. All right, here we go. Okay, Tyler, welcome to our day. It's More Good News Wednesday. You got more good news for us, talking about the Cozy Earth. Something you started. There he is. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thanks. Good to be with you.
Great to be with you. Well, give us a little bit of background on Oprah's favorite things 3 years in a row. Has to be good. Cozy Earth.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so Cozy Earth, I started it about a little over 10 years ago. We had an age-old problem. My wife and I, one was hot, one was cold when we were sleeping at night, different temperatures in the bed. So kind of disagreeing on what type of bedding we liked. And we were talking about it with a friend, and they mentioned that about this silk comforter that was more breathable, had like a lot more moisture wicking abilities to it, and so we tried it out. We loved it, but it definitely wasn't high quality. And my background was in overseas kind of international procurement and product development, making products better. And so I went out and started looking and searching for kind of higher quality linens, and I found this type of bamboo that was really special, and then we fine-tuned it and made it into an entire luxury bamboo bedding line that has that temperature regulating benefit, but also is hypoallergenic and has a sustainable origin, which is great. And we just built a whole line around it, and we have loungewear now, and it kind of just grew into something that I think people really enjoy, and it's been a fantastic experience.
Not only is it hey, welcome. Not only is it temperature regulating, but it's hypoallergenic as well. So finding the right material, being able to develop a product with that material sounds easy. What were the steps that you had to go through, in the time that it took in order to effectuate finding the best material, and then being able to test it, find it, utilize it, execute on it, so you end up being, here we are 11 years later, a great company, and one of Oprah's favorite things.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, there's an easy way to do it and there's a hard way to do it, like anything else. For me, I didn't want to be the same as everyone else. And so the old moniker, run of the mill, is a very, very true thing. Most companies purchase from what's called trade companies. So they go overseas, or they go to factories and suppliers, and they say, they don't even go to the factories. They just go to office buildings where they have a bunch of samples. They feel all these samples and say, okay, I'll take that one in that color and that one in that color. And they really don't get into the nitty gritty of how the product's made, the raw materials, anything like that. And so the way we differentiated ourselves from the very beginning was, I was just kind of obsessed with having the best stuff. I joke around with this, with people sometimes, but it's true. When I was in 5th grade, I asked my mom for my birthday, I asked her for the softest sheets she could find. I'd always been like a very tactile person. And so unfortunately it was like we failed. We couldn't find it. We went to Bed Bath & Beyond and Macy's and all these places, and it all seemed the same to me. It was just like the industry was suffering from sameness. And so when I was out there, I was kind of trying to help out that little, 11-year-old version of me, just trying to find something that was really fantastic and that would like wow people when they felt it. That was like the big thing. You didn't have to be an expert in textiles to like, everyone slept in so many different like hotels and guest rooms and their own homes. Everyone's an expert in, is this a high quality sheet? They can feel it immediately if it really is high end. And so when I was, over years working out there, I said, how do we find the best stuff? And so I realized these trade companies weren't going to be the answer. Like, we weren't going to be able to just pick something and then bring it over and then market it to death into something it wasn't. And so what I did was I speak fluent Mandarin Chinese. And so that enabled me to get past the trade companies and get to actually the makers of the products. And then when I started establishing relationships with them, they were excited about my passion for something different and better and high end. And so they were excited to help create something just new with us. And so then we went back even further. I went back to where they harvest the product, where they make the yarn, where they work with the dyeing factory, if there is a dyeing factory involved. And then we got to learn about, chemicals that we didn't want to use and stuff that was safe and good to use. So we had a hand in kind of each part of this supply chain, which helped us to develop something that was really unique and proprietary to us in terms of the feel and the performance.
You know what is so remarkable, and I'm a huge fan of Cozy Earth, by the way, and
Thank you.
I'm probably going to tell you too much, but when my wife went through menopause, there was a serious temperature differential going on, and I like it cold anyway, but, she herself, and I dreamed of a product, and, Oprah, who is 1 degree of separation, I check out that favorite things list. Brian Smith from, the time created Ugg Boots On, that list is always the unique, because people are willing to pay for the best, right? And when I wanted the best, and I called it the thermos of linens, and the reason I call it that is David Beckham, who I was teasing one time with his reputation. He was holding a thermos, and I said, "Hey man, what do you got there?" He goes, "Oh, Posh got me this. It's a thermos." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, it keeps hot things hot and cool things cool." And that's what Cozy Earth does, right?
Yeah,
and I'm like,
exactly.
"Oh, right on." I go, "What do you got in there?" He goes, "Coffee and ice cream." And I was thinking, you got the coffee and ice cream of linens. The difference is it actually keeps hot things hot and cool things cool at the same time. Something even a thermos can't do. So you're this thermos on steroids of linens. To that end, you obviously, since you were a young age, this was a destiny, right? We just don't at a young age say things like, for example, at 5 years old, I told myself I'm going to be rich. I'm going to buy my mom a house and a car. Right. At 5 years old, there's no reason to continually say that. It just came through me. For you, how much of, as you were probably in a stable position, was it destiny to risk everything and travel to the back swamps of China in order to find the right bamboo and the right dye and the right people for quality control?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's some happy ignorance when you get involved with entrepreneurship. It's a wonderful thing. In fact, like I highly recommend being as ignorant as you can be to when you get involved. People always want to, start businesses once they feel like they know everything. And I think that, if you're going to start something and go out on your own, it's just nice to get started and to start learning and then to have the humility that it's time to learn. And that's kind of the way I approached it. I think from a young age, like you said, I definitely had a creative, desire and drive in my life. And what's funny is that, and I played music growing up, and I did a lot of creative things, but I really loved business. Became this like ultimate masterpiece, this ultimate art form for me, which is kind of weird, but it really satisfied that creative desire in me, and the passion that came from building a business, and not just for the monetary reasons. Obviously, we want to support ourselves and do well. But I think like the thing that kept me going all that time, and especially in the early years when it's tough going, right? You're not making any money. You're slaving away, and you've got this ideal of what it could be. The passion that carries you through from that point until now, and in the future, I think, is that gratification that you're creating something that's making a difference in other people's lives. And so that's something that also brought me a lot of joy. Coming up is service and doing good things for other people. And so you combine that with creativity and reaching your own personal potential. All those things kind of got us, I think, the company to where we are right now. And I think it's something that we're really trying to hold on to as a company with everyone we hire and everything else, is that we want other people to be creative, to reach their own potential, to be entrepreneurs in their own space. So that's something we really try to push as we go across, and that passion and and kind of commitment to those ideals and the stuff that really brings you lasting joy is really important to me.
Yeah, which is the customer first attitude and being able to actually deliver on that and still make a profit to stay in business and help more people seems to be the moniker of Cozy Earth. And, you know, it is an exceptional product. And it's one in which if anyone's interested in, I won't even look at the price because, you know, I tell people all the time, there's three things you need to look at. You need to look at one, you know, your family. You spend a third of your life with your family, a third of the life with activity you get paid for, and a third of your life sleeping. And you know, I see guys they'll spend $225,000 on a car that they use like once a month just to say they have the car to impress people they don't even like. If you're not spending your money on your pillows and your sheets and now your loungewear, you know, the things that you actually use and contribute to your higher frequency, your higher self, you're making a huge mistake. You know, you've done an incredible job. I'm sure it'll continue on because that fabric can be used in so many different areas. You know, one of the areas I was thinking is just masks because they're so uncomfortable. And you know, people don't want to work out in them. They don't want that. You could have a great career in a variety of different places. People can find you at Cozy Earth, CozyEarth.com. Anywhere else you want people to reach out to you, Tyler?
Yeah, CozyEarth.com is great. We just recently launched new colorways of our blush and navy joggers. We're also coming out with men's stuff for you as well. So jogger shorts are coming out for Father's Day, and we also have some amazing kind of loungewear that can work versatile. You know, it has versatility. You can wear it inside, you can wear it outside, and like you said, with the temperature regulation, that's the key for us. Is we want to be the softest thing you've ever felt, but we also want utility. So for people, we want that to surprise and delight them with that temperature regulating benefit, so they're never hot, never cold, and we carry that through our entire loungewear. So they can find us at CozyEarth.com. There's some really great sales going on right now, 20% off, and then on our email list they get an extra 10% off. So they'll get up to 35% off if they bundle and they get on our email list as well. So we're just happy to provide it for whatever people want, and then they can also contact us or live chat us with any questions they have.
You got it, man. Well, I look forward to my emails right below. Please reach out to me. The thermos of high quality wear is for the bed end. They are not. They're the only thermos out there that will keep hot things hot and cool things cool. That's amazing. Whatever you like, that's where they're going to keep you at. Tyler, you're doing an extraordinary job. Please reach out. I look forward to doing more stuff with you. Thank you so much. CozyEarth.com. Talk to you soon, Tyler.
Hey, thanks, guys. See you later.
Right on.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Very, very cool stuff and very warm stuff, depending on if you want cool or warm. How do you like that? David at Meltzer.com. Check it out. The men's jogger shorts sound great as well to me. California King, Tyler. That's the bed. Navy sounds good. Go ahead, David at Meltzer.com. All right. We're looking what? Brian Starr. You here? Brian Starr, cinematography, videographer, business owner. Brian Starr, where are you at, my friend? We are going to have you join us. Vanessa's here. I'm a little bit, are we good on that, Jakey Bakey? You're having a rough time here, my friend. If not, always a great interview, always great people. Any new colorways on the bed sheets? Yes, they do have new colors. Check them out, cozywear.com. Oh, there's Brian Starr. Who is in your circle of influence? I'm 1 degree of separation from whoever I need. Billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, entertainers. Check out the playbook if you want to know who I'm connected to. Over 800 episodes on every platform, Spotify, Google, iTunes, etc. All right, we got a quick question from Brian. Brian Starr, our cinematographer. Welcome. How are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good, man. I love that hat. What's going on?
It's going. Sorry, just trying to get my angle right. There we go.
The perfectionist of a cinematographer. That's my boy.
That's exactly it.
You're in a really growing hot space. You have a question for me?
Yeah. You're correct. I am in a growing space, but being, so I'm in Kentucky, and being in Kentucky, I'm not really surrounded by a lot of people that are in that same space, whereas it would probably be a little bit easier to grow in California. So in New York and, the hot spots. I guess like a good question is, how can I scale this to a further level?
So, our cinematographer is in Virginia.
I love it.
And the way that he found us is the quality of his work. And he asked in person on the phone via email. He was actually, for me, someone that, followed me, listened to my videos, kept hitting up Gary Vee and myself to do work for us. Did some work, from remote locations, came out, flies back and forth. But look, go where the business is, but you don't have to live there. I think anything about 2020 is going to teach you that you don't have to live where you have activity you get paid for. But you do got to ask in the places there's more work. And the good news about what you do is it speaks for itself. One thing I love about my books, my podcasts, my TV shows, the stuff that I do, that's why I put on my signature, my email, res ipsa loquitur. And I want you to write that down, RESIPSA loquitur, LOQUITOR. That's the secret to your cinematography. That's the secret to your business, Brian, is that which speaks for itself is your work. Get it in front of as many people as you want and ask them, do you know anyone that can help me? There's so much work out there. It may not be in Kentucky, but you don't got to be in Kentucky in order to get the work. You just have to be the best at what you do and show it to them by what you've done before. And I'm sure your work speaks for itself. In fact, I'd love to see some of your work. I got more work than I know what to do with in your space. I'm always looking for great cinematographers, editors, producers, etc. Look, I'm looking for great guys that can provide great quality content and work within the margins that I can work within, because everybody has to make money. Everybody has to help people and have fun in my business and hopefully in yours. So just get the stuff out there. Don't limit yourself to Kentucky. Get out there, ask in the areas where the business is being done, not just California, New York, Florida, Texas, but, check out Canada, check out Europe, check out Asia, that your stuff can be everywhere. Ask in person, on the phone, via email and social media and traditional media. Send out that stuff and just ask one question. Anyone I can help, or do you know anyone that can help me?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's perfect.
That sound fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, man. Please keep in touch. Email me, though. I'd love to see your stuff. David@dmeltzer.com. You can text me 949-298-2905, but I'd love to see your stuff. Anybody else, where can people reach you, Brian, if they need a great videographer, cinematographer?
Yeah, so brianstarcinematography.com is kind of where my work is. And then I'm blowing up my TikTok. I have about 500,000 people on TikTok right now, at bstarcinema, star with 2 R's and cinema. And that's where I'm kind of putting my focus at, is kind of just, taking that to the next level. Cause I'm already getting sponsorships and things like that. And so that's kind of where my interest is right now. And, just trying to connect with more people who are doing the same thing.
Yeah, we'll diversify that interest to people who make more money than the people who watch TikTok. So make sure that you're working in a spectrum of people that can pay you while you're building your TikTok too. You can do both. You don't have to do either or. I try to modify everything, which is why I need so many people to work with me to every single platform, from TikTok videos to IG to LinkedIn to Facebook, YouTube, everywhere I can, community, Clubhouse. We're all over the place. That's where we can reach at B-Star Cinema. Check him out. That is Brian Starr with 2 R's, cinematography. Check him out. All right, B, you send me your stuff, man. I'm interested in seeing how I can help, okay?
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You got it, brother. That's awesome. Brian Starr, the man, the myth, doing it there on TikTok and doing it for other people as well. He obviously knows what he's doing. If he can do it for himself, that's what I always tell people. If I can do it for myself, I can do it for you. Brian is amazing. He has references right there. I agree. David@dmeltzer.com. Follow, and if you want those techniques, just email me. My book, ebook, audiobook. If you want me to sign my book, send it to you, pay for shipping and the book, not a problem. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. All right, I'm going to bring on one of my mentees, a guy that I've worked with for years. His brand is blowing up if you haven't heard him speak. He is a business consultant and speaker, a client of mine for years, one of my first coaching clients I've ever had. I got to see him last night at a gallery closing with Michael Brandrup. He is an incredible energy, and there he is, Mr. Ricky Mendez. Ricky Mendez Speaks. What's going on? What do you have to speak about today, Ricky?
I have to speak about how awesome you and your team are. Once again, seeing you guys last night was awesome. And as always, Dave, thank you so much. And one of the things that hit me like kind of square again between the eyes last night, and it's been a common theme in my life, but just to continue to ask for help. Like that was again, and it was awesome because I always bring as many people as I can to see all you guys, your staff and everybody. But and she, number one, called her mother, who she hadn't spoken to in a little bit, just from one sentence that you said. And then she walked away saying, hey, they're all awesome. I was like, yeah, I know. That's why I always try to hang around the whole team.
Well, thank you. And, you know, life's about lessons, and they keep on coming until we learn them. And pain is only an indicator, not a stop sign. It's nothing to worry about. It's just indicating you have something to learn. And I love that. It takes me to a better place, a better position, a better situation. You've been with me a long time, and I try my best to be consistent, persistent in the pursuit of my potential. What has helped you most? Because out of all the clients I have, you know, you really have held on to the idea of detaching your emotions from an outcome, to apply them to enjoying finding the meaning in everything you do, but enjoying the consistent everyday, persistent without quit pursuit of your own potential, showing up to all types of things and always asking, knowing that we could show up to more and ask for more. But what has been one of the things you've learned from me that has helped you be able to be so consistent and persistent and achieve the accelerated growth that you have?
Yeah, I still remember this day. I think it was the first year we were working together, and I was talking about, can you help me get speaking gigs? And you were telling me what you get paid to speak for an hour. And I remember saying this exactly. I said, man, that seems like it's going to take a lifetime to fulfill. And you said, cancel that right there. Just cancel that right there. Cancel Clear Connect. And I would say the one thing it got me from that day, I started to live in a world of possibility and potential. Instead of like, that was where my brain would go. I was successful, you know. And when you got my brain to just say, hey, why can't I do this too? Or look at the possibility, look at the potential. And when I stay in that realm, I don't let my brain kind of trick me into saying, well, I can't do that, or that's going to take forever. And if I do, I catch it really quick now. I don't spend a whole month thinking that and just burying myself. It's very quick. I can convert that really quick now, just from the efficiency of practice.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, you know, I pride myself on being a mentor, a coach, and a teacher. All three are necessary for me. A mentor is someone who gives their situational knowledge and experience, gives the best of themselves to a client. A coach is someone that brings the best out of the client, may not necessarily know the skills or the capabilities to get there. And then, of course, a teacher is someone that can adequately explain. And not everybody's a good teacher, you know, and it's probably the weakest of all the things that I have is the teaching. I'm a great coach and mentor. Teaching takes a lot more patience and time, and my time builds, my perspective of time is quick, which allows me to be a mentor and a coach to so many people. There comes a point when you are helping someone, and you know, for me, every client, if they work with me long enough, we have the Rob moment. And I say the Rob moment is because my friend Rob from the 4th grade saved my life, because I invited him to the Masters, and he looked at me and said, I ain't going. And I'm like, yeah, but we're going to the NetJet parties. We're, you know, comp everything, VIP, private jet. What do you mean you're not going? He said, I don't like who you hang out with, and I don't like what you're doing. And I said to him, oh, come on, man, I'm not doing what those guys are doing. And he said to me, don't lie you can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself.
Wow.
He hit me right between the eyes really hard. You and I had a moment like that. And it's very risky to tell somebody the truth, right? Because there's a great book by Stephen Hertz, right? Do not take yes for an answer. And what happens is we're progressing and growing, you know, everybody wants to tell us, yes, great job, wonderful. And I'm a very positive person, and that's the mentor in me and the teacher in me, but there's a coach in me. And it's, you know, Bill Belichick, it's Lou Lombardi, it's Lou Holtz, it's all my mentors. It's my defensive coordinator in my college career, who was my least favorite person in the entire earth, who I nicknamed the Troll. But now he's one of my favorite people on earth because he's a great coach. He brought the best out of me. Would you mind sharing the coaching moment that we had that you tell me is probably the most beneficial of all the things I was able to do for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So a big life moment was me going to speak to your team, and I was like, man, this is like a life moment. It's an honor. You know, the guy that helps me so much, I actually get to share some of the things I've learned. And I didn't effectively communicate prior to that. And when we got there, I went to give you, I would give you knuckles and a hug and things like that. And you didn't give me knuckles back. And for those who don't know, another nickname of Dave is Ferocious Buddha, which I love. And basically, Dave told me how I didn't communicate effectively days prior that kind of jacked up his team's day and student of the calendar and basically kind of messed up a day to make income and do what he had planned. And you let me have it in front of everybody. But this is a point of how I would say two things. Number one, how much you've trained me, and two, how much I've implemented what you've done, because it's improved my quality of life. So you let me have it right in front of everybody, right before I'm about to go talk. And instantly my brain is saying, Dave loves me. Dave wants the best for me. I get to learn. And ironically, my talk was on conversion of energy. And so I took it. And I left and I went by the hallway and I just said, Dave loves me. Dave wants the best for me. Like, he's 100% right. Like, I think when we go through those moments, we get really defensive. It's like, no, I didn't do that, or I didn't do this wrong. And that was a nice realization. It's like, you were 1,000,000% right. And I said, okay, let's take this love, let's take this positive energy and put it into my talk. Own it, be accountable for it. I'm wearing my shirt, by the way. And that was what I improved more in that hour than I did in the previous 6 months, because I've been having success. And when people tell you you're doing great and things are awesome, great, that feels great. But I'm grateful for the people that tell me what I need to hear and not necessarily always what I want to hear. And that's why I'll always be internally grateful, not just for you, but for your whole team. Like, it's such a reflection of you, and they know how I feel about them. I try to tell them all the time. But yeah, that moment was an awesome one. And that was one of the best ones I've had as I've started my career.
Yeah, you know what is amazing is I've had employees, many in the past, who I care so much about, and they'll complain behind my back, even to, you know, Warren Moon. They'll complain to my team. He's micromanaging me, right? He's ferocious, you know. He's micromanaging me, and I always tell him, and I tell my kids, be worried if I don't care, right? That means you're on the fall away side of it. If I'm micromanaging, if I'm hard on you, or it hurts a little bit, if I'm indicating some pain, a place where you can grow, learn to a better place, a better situation, then be grateful. And I read a book with Marshall Thurber, by Marshall Thurber, called Social Deviance. And it talks about perturbating someone as part of a coaching mechanism to, every once in a while, you know, you show love, support, promotion, love, and then you perturbate them. You perturb your relationship by testing it and seeing how much they've learned.
Nice.
Because a lot of people love to patronize you, and they'll tell you, you know, hey, everything's great, you're amazing. And, you know, people used to tell me that when I speak, you're amazing, that's the best speech I ever had. And I'd look and I'd say, wow, there's 100 people in line. Some people literally waited an hour just to tell me thank you. Didn't even want a book, right? An hour. And then I say to myself, not good enough. I could do better, because there was 7,000 people in this room, and, you know, only 100 people stayed.
Yep.
So that probably meant that 3,500 people I didn't even reach in any respect. Half of the people. And if I could get another 10%, there'd be 350 people, or another 10%. So I'm not as good as anyone says I am. I'm never as bad as they say either. Right? You have to be able to distinguish between someone constructively giving you advice or people who are putting judgments or conditions on you. Right? If I would have said, Ricky, you're an idiot, you're late, instead of actually saying, hey, you didn't effectively communicate with me and my team, therefore, here's the results that are occurring. You cost me a lot of money. You cost me a lot of time, efficiencies. I teach being a student in your calendar. You say you're learning from me. You're not doing it consistently enough in order to get the results you want in your life from what you told me. Not, this isn't about me. I'm working on my own stuff. You've asked me to do this. Yeah. And you took that well. Real quick as we finish up, I got a gift from you, which you may not know. that day. Not only the way that you responded and re-engineered your energy, but you told a story that has changed my life about asking, which to me, as you know, is one of the key things that I teach people. These people that are Christina Madrigal's there giving us hearts, and she's someone that I taught to ask, and her life has changed. She told me for the first time in a private setting that her numbers are just going like this in her business simply because she asked, right? And she's a beautiful soul, one of my faves, and Laura as well there. But would you mind to finish up the live telling my favorite story about Arthur Blank's Home Depot, a dear friend of mine, and how important it is to ask?
Oh, that's right. You're friends with them. That's hilarious. That's awesome. Yes, and I just want to say, Rachel MDL, if you want a T-shirt, just let me know. No shipping. I'll ship it to you wherever you are. No cost. I'll get you a T-shirt.
There you
That's
go.
like the accountable shirt. So yeah, when I ran sales teams for a decade, and the biggest thing was not just asking for help in life, but asking for the order. And I was speaking at a Home Depot conference, and then I went into a breakout room, and somebody gave this example. He said there are 4 checkouts at Home Depot. Number 1 is garden checkout. Number 2 is self checkout. Number 3 is mainline checkout. Number 4 is contractor pro. So garden pro, self, mainline, garden, or contractor. Contractor pro. So 4 checkouts. And then think of all the things that Home Depot offers in terms of products, machinery, tools, things like that. All of them come with an extended warranty, right?
Appliances. They sell appliances with extended warranties.
Yeah. And so that's a huge part of their additional revenue times the whole country or world. And they asked us, what do we think closes the highest amount percentage-wise of those extended warranties? Mainline, self-checkout, garden, or contractor pro. And everybody would guess, most people thought contractor pro, and it was self-checkout for one reason. It asked every time. A computer outperformed humans because the ego wasn't involved and they just asked. No non-verbal communication. It just asked. A computer. And it wasn't even close. It was like the computer closed it like.
It was aggregate of the all 3 equal what the self-help one would do. Yeah. And I've used that story so many different times. If you want to improve, accelerate, and grow, learn, and like you said, it's ask for the sale. Ask for what you want, who you want it from, and how you want it. If you know your what, your who, your how, your now, and your why, you can apply your why to everything, and then everything becomes meaningful. Everything becomes purposeful. Everything becomes passionate. Everything becomes profitable. Know your what, your who, your how, your now. Apply your why. Anybody interested in those step-by-steps, I've been teaching this to Ricky inside and out over years now, and he is an unbelievable success in all realms of his business, his sales, his speaking, his books, all his gratitude poems. If you want that, though, the 5 daily practices, david@dmeltzer.com. I'll give you Ricky Mendez's information as well, at Ricky Mendez Speaks, rickymendez.com. Email me if you want that again, david@dmeltzer.com. Be a self-checkout. Ask. That's that simple. Aggregate everybody else in the world around you. Ask for what you want. You can't ask big enough, and you can't ask often enough. You just simply have to open up the opportunity for open minds, open hearts, and open hands. They're attracted to people that ask. People who have open minds, open hearts, and open hands are attracted to people who ask. Ricky Mendez, you ask all the time. I'm going to finish up right now. Do you have an ask for me?
I do, actually. So ironically, now I have 2, but I would love your, I have a pitch deck ready to show, and I just possibly attached Cameron Hood, and he worked for DreamWorks, and my first children's book. I would ask for your help to, number 1, give me feedback, and then put me in rooms of people that may want to be a part of the project.
I would be happy to help. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Get those 5 daily practices. Remind yourself, recollect yourself, remember yourself. In other words, be one with all. Ricky Mendez Speaks, rickymendez.com. Thank you so much, my friend. I only have 3 words for you. I love you.
Love you too, man. Thank you, care, brother. Thanks to the whole team. Bye-bye.
You got it. Bye-bye. All right. Elevate others to elevate yourself. That's how it works for me. Made my heart sing, just like Jesus, my Savior. right there. Rachel, thank you for joining us. Great. Bruce, thank you for joining us. Christina Maldergill, Mikey, Jakey, Bakey, everybody in the house. Let's take one more question. It is what is it? It is Wednesday, which is More Good News Wednesday. If you have not seen all the good news here, then what are you missing? Go rewatch it. What a great guest. What a great time. More Good News Wednesday. Every Wednesday is not a hump. It's more good news. Just be open-minded, open-handed, and open-hearted. The more good news is coming your way. That is right. More Good News Wednesday here every Wednesday with me. Training is at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Even my team didn't know that. We're going to coordinate with Clubhouse, with IG, and of course, over 50,000 people registered for training. Be one of them, David, at dmeltzer.com. I'm going to finish up with a quick question here. What ways do you practice strengthening your intuition? Bob Proctor taught me how to practice and find the muscle, not only of focus and refocus, but intuition. How can I be intuitively sensitive to attracting what I want, to be able to materialize possibilities and probabilities into my perspective? So what I do, especially when I fly, is I look and stare in between the two chairs in front of me, and I see if I can get the person in front of me to rustle around, see if I can get them actually to turn around and look through that hole. When I can do that, I know I'm using my intuition, that that person can feel me. Practice your intuition, stare at things, make them move. You can do it. Find the parts of you that are connected to and through everything else. It is More Good News Wednesday. I am David Meltzer. You can have my 5 daily practices. You can have my book, ebook, audiobook. I'll sign a book, ship it to you, pay for it. Ricky will send you a shirt. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. It's all free. Please reach out to me. I am here to be of service and of help. I'm trying to empower over 1 billion people to be happy through these 5 daily practices and my 4 values from my book, which I'll send you, ebook, audiobook, sign it, ship it, pay for it, all for you. Thank you, Lisa Penny. I'm glad you enjoyed my book, especially because it's free. More Good News Wednesday. Meet us here Friday, 6 a.m. Training, Clubhouse, IG, or on the webinar. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. But remember, most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. I'll see you tomorrow.